Hi friends, welcome to my YouTube channel SS Analysis. First of all, I would like to tell you that if you're watching this video first time, subscribe my channel to see my more upcoming videos on analysis of different commodities and equity indices. And second important thing is to watch this video till its end to understand this solely to take your decision. Your one like will motivate me to be regular and working more hard for you. So let us start the day to analyze the movements of gold futures in different time frames. So friends, here you can see a monthly chart of gold futures. Here you can see how the gold futures behave during the year 2011 when it tested a high during the August 2011 at the levels of $1912, from where the gold futures remained under heavy bearish pressure when it tested a low at the levels of $1139 during the month of November 2014. So here you can see that how this fall in gold futures in a 40-degree angle where the gold futures found a breakdown below the levels of $1601 during the month of March 2013. So friends, here you can see that how the gold futures remained under bearish pressure for a long time from August 2013, and this downward pressure continued up to the month of April 2019 when the gold futures started an uptrend once again from the levels of $1322 during the month of May 2019. Since then, we have seen a sharp uptrend in gold futures, whereas during the month of February 2020, gold futures found first resistance at an important resistance level at the $1694, from where you can see that how this formation of an exhaustive candle resulted in a sharp downward move in gold futures up to the levels of $1479 what it tested during the month of March 2020. But from here, the gold futures witnessed a steep upward move when the gold futures tested a high at the levels of 2120. But here you can see that how the gold futures found a sharp sell-off from here during the month of August. So here you can see that how this downward pressure continued from September 2020 when the gold futures tested a low at the levels of $1683 during the month of March 2021. So friends, here you can see that how the level of the 1683 seems to be a psychological support, whereas this level was a psychological resistance here. And finally, the gold futures found a breakout above this level during the month of April 2020 and continued to sustain above this till today, whereas we have seen during this second uptrend. But once again, the gold futures have been facing a stiff resistance at the levels of $1910, which seems to be an immediate resistance in a monthly time frame for gold futures. And here you can see that how the gold futures performed during the month of June 2021, where you can see that how the gold futures found a stiff resistance at the levels of $1910 and currently closed the last week at the levels of $1769 after testing a low at the levels of $1761, which confirms the continuity of a downward trend in gold futures. Because here I find that a breakdown below this uptrend line in a monthly time frame, which is a 41-degree angle. So friends, here I find that if the gold futures are not able to hold above the levels of $1748 during the upcoming week, we'll see this fall to continue during the month of June 2021. So here I find that the next 8 trading sessions will be very important for the gold futures, because here I find that a breakdown down below this level could push the gold futures to test the levels of the 1683 once again before the end of this month. If the gold futures are not able to hold this strong support, we'll see this downward trend to continue during the upcoming month. So friends, now let's check the position of Ichimoku cloud in a monthly time frame. So here in the monthly time frame, here you can see that how the gold futures started an uptrend from the month of May 2019. Here you can see that how the formation of a bullish crossover here during the month of July 2019 continued this uptrend in gold futures But here you can see that how the gold futures have currently trading well below the 9 days moving average since November 2020. So friends, here you can see that this formation of a bullish crossover kept this uptrend intact in gold futures up to the levels of the 2120, what the gold futures tested during the month of August 2020. But since then the gold futures found a downward move up to the levels of the 1793 during the month of November 2020. So friends, here you can see that how the gold futures attempted many times to sustain above the 9 days moving average but found heavy sell-off on every upward rally below the levels of the 1975 and found sharp downward moves up to the levels of the 1698, whereas you can see that once again the gold futures tried to maintain above the 26 days moving average, which is an immediate support for gold futures, which is currently at the levels of the 1720, from where the gold futures started this current uptrend during the month of April 2021 up to the levels of the 1910, but found this level as a stiff resistance, and during this month the gold futures have seen a sharp downward move. So here I find that if the gold futures are not able to hold above the immediate support at $1720, next support can be seen at the levels of $1683. But here I find that if the gold futures are not able to hold above this major support up to the end of this month, we'll see this downward trend to continue during the upcoming months. So friends, here I find that the next 8 trading session will be very decisive for gold futures, because here I find that if the gold futures are not able to hold above this major support at the levels of $1683, undoubtedly a steep fall could start in gold futures, when the gold futures could even test the upper end of Ichimoku out during the month of October 2021. So friends, here I find that every upward rally will be sold in gold futures above the levels of the 1910, because here I find that this is very important to keep a visual eye over the downward move of 9 days moving average. Here you can see that how in a monthly time frame the 9 days moving average has turned downward, which confirms that shortly we'll see this 9 days moving average to cross the 26 days moving average. If the gold futures found a breakdown below this level, the 9 days moving average could turn downward and form a bearish crossover here in a monthly time frame. So friends, now let's check this move in a weekly time frame. So here in a weekly time frame, here you can see that how the gold futures started an uptrend here during the month of April 2019, and this uptrend continued up to the levels of the 1854, from where this uptrend turned into a steep upward move when the gold futures tested a lifetime high at the levels of the 2120. But since then we have seen a downward move in gold futures, where the gold futures found its support. But since then we have seen the continuity of bearish pressure in gold futures, and finally the gold futures tested low at the levels of the 1784 during the month of November 2020. But here I find that the levels of the 1796 seems to be a good support for gold futures in the weekly time frame, from where the gold futures once again tried to breach the immediate resistance at the 1910, but could not sustain above this for a long time, and finally found a sharp sell-off from the levels of $1966 during the month of January 2021, from where you can see that this bearish candle resulted in continuation of the bearish pressure when the gold futures finally tested a low at the levels of the 1683 and found this level as a strong support, where once again the gold futures found a second support during the month of March 2021. So friends, here you can see that how the gold futures had formed a double bottom here, which resulted in one more uptrend when the gold futures once again found stiff resistance at the levels of $1910 and constantly tried to breach this tough resistance but could not. And finally you can see that how during the last week the gold futures found a sharp downward move from the levels of $1881 and and continued to move downward and tested a low at the levels of the 1760. And here you can see that how the gold futures have finally closed the week below the lower end of Ichimoku cloud, and on the upper side the gold futures found stiff resistance at the upper end of Ichimoku cloud, where the gold futures found stiff resistance and finally closed the week much below the lower end of Ichimoku cloud, which confirms the continuity of a downward move in gold futures. Here I find that if the gold futures try to move upward, the immediate resistance for gold futures will be at the levels of the 1802. So friends, here I find that during the upcoming week, if the gold futures try to move upward, the immediate resistance for gold futures will be the lower end of Ichimoku cloud in a weekly time frame, which is currently at the levels of the 1805, from where once again a sell-off could start, and the second resistance will be at the 26 days moving average, which is currently at the levels of the 1824 in a weekly time frame. So here I find that undoubtedly the gold futures could try to breach this second resistance during the upcoming week, but here I find that every rally will be sold below the levels of the 1875. Only a sustained move of gold futures above the levels of the 1916 could retain the hopes of bulls. A sustained move of gold futures above the levels of the 1910 could keep this uptrend in gold futures, but here I find that once again the levels of the 1975 could provide a stiff resistance to gold futures, but here I find that if the gold futures are not able to breach the immediate resistance at the lower end of Ichimoku cloud, we will see this downward trend to continue, where the gold futures once again could test the levels of the 1663 during the upcoming week. So friends, here I find that volatility could be very higher in gold futures, because here I find that still the gold futures will remain very indecisive during the upcoming week. Here I find that if the gold futures start the upcoming week below the levels of the 1748, gold futures could remain very volatile, but here I find that if the gold futures are not able to hold above the levels of the 1683, we'll see the advent of a sharp downward move in gold futures, where the gold futures could remain under heavy selling pressure up to the levels of the 1479. So friends, here need of the hour is to keep a vigil eye over the movements of gold futures during the upcoming week, because the next 8 trading session could be very decisive for gold futures. Friends, now let's check this move in a daily time. So here in a daily time frame, here you can see that how the gold futures behave during the last few trading sessions. Here in a daily time frame, here you can see that how the gold futures started a downward trend from the levels of the 1968, what it tested during the month of January 2021. Since then, we have seen continuity of a downward move when the gold futures tested a low on January 8, 2021 at the levels of the 1846. So here you can see that how gold futures attempted to sustain above the levels of the 1871 from January 12th and continued to struggle in order to sustain above the levels of the 1873, but could not, and finally started to move downward, and this downward trend continued in gold futures when the gold futures finally tested a low on March 5th, 2021 at the levels of the 1678, from where once again the gold futures tried to move upward but could not reach the immediate resistance at the levels of the 1756, what it tested on March 18, 2021 and found a sharp downward move, and once again tested a low at the same levels what it tested here. And here you can see that how the gold futures formed a double bottom here, which resulted in a sharp upward move in gold futures from March 31st, and this uptrend continued in gold futures up to the levels of the 1913, what the gold futures tested first time on May 26, 2021. And here you can see that how the gold futures continuously found this resistance up to June 2nd, 2021. So here you can see that how the gold futures found stiff resistance at the levels of the 1913 on May 26, 2021, and since then the gold futures continuously attempted to sustain above this resistance but could not, and finally started to move downward on June 3rd, 2021 and found some support at the levels of $1854, and once again a bounce back was there area, but the gold futures could not sustain above the levels of the 1905 and finally started a downward trend on June 11, 2021. Since then, you can see that how the gold futures have been constantly falling downward when they finally tested my first buy zone on June 17 and a bounce back was seen, but once again a sharp sell-off was there. So here you can see that how the gold futures have formed an exhaustive candle on June 18 in a daily time frame, which could confirm the continuity of a downward pressure, because here you can see that in a daily time frame the gold futures could not reach the immediate resistance at the levels of the 1798 and found a sharp sell-off here. So here I find that if the gold futures are not able to hold above the levels of the 1732 during the upcoming week, we'll see this fall to continue up to the levels of the 1697, where my second buy zone is there. But here I don't prefer to go long because the gold futures look very indecisive. So for the upcoming week, my first buy zone will be here and my stop loss level will be at the levels of the 1667. So friends, here I find that the gold futures could remain under heavy bearish pressure, but during the upcoming week we could find some sharp reversals in gold futures from the levels of $1678, and I find that a breakout above the levels of $1920 could provide a good opportunity to short the gold futures above the levels of $1958 with a stop loss at the levels of $1981. So friends, be ready to see an action in gold futures. So thank you friends, thanks for watching this video. If you like this video, don't forget to share this video with your more and more friends. Thank you.